The crypto miners today are experiencing a little bit of a pullback. And in this video, I'm going to go over a few what I see on the charts. And I'm also going to talk about the potential spot Bitcoin ETF approval becoming a sell the news event. I think if it does turn out to be a sell the news event, it'll be a great buying opportunity and nothing less. Now, if you guys get something out of these videos, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. There are some links down below for some free stocks and cryptos, and let's get started. Now, I will leave this article down below for you, but Crypto Quant thinks that the Bitcoin spot ETF approval will be a sell the news event. And they believe that because they said in a note to CoinDesk that traders' unrealized profits are lingering at a level that historically precedes a correction. And they believe that Bitcoin may pull back all the way down to 32,000 because that's the short-term holder realized price. And you can see on this graph here, anytime it gets to this level, we do see a little bit of a correction. And in my opinion, this is simply a buying opportunity if we do see pullbacks like this. We know where we are in the halving cycle, and this is still just the beginning. We haven't even got to the halving yet. And I want to show you guys where we were with Bitcoin at the last halving cycle, December 2019, which is pretty much December 2023 when looking at the 4-year cycle. At the end of December, Bitcoin was right around $6,500. And right around the halving, we did see Bitcoin pull back. This was the overall market. This was the 2020 crash. We all know what happened there. Bitcoin did quickly recover from that. And similar to 2023, before we got to the end of this year, just like the end of 2019, we did see Bitcoin appreciate in price quite dramatically. In early February, it was about 3,500. And at the end of summer in 2019, it made it all the way to 13,000. And I'm sure there's people back when Bitcoin was 6,500 in 2019 saying, we're due to cool off a bit. Bitcoin was in the beginning of the year 3,500 and people are making too much money here. It's due to retrace. And of course, we did see some retracements along the way, but they were nothing besides buying opportunities. I do think this will be the same thing if these spot Bitcoin ETF approvals bring Bitcoin's price down. I do think these will be major buying opportunities. And look at 2020, the halving year. All of these small pullbacks were great buying opportunities. And I'm sure along the way, there was a lot of people saying, oh my God, Bitcoin's 20,000. Oh my God, Bitcoin's 30,000. It's time to sell. It's due to pull back. It's due to come back to that 6,500. And no, it just ended up continuing up all the way to nearly $70,000. So in the end, even if we do pull back a bit, it'll be a huge mistake to sell now. If you're looking long-term, looking into 2024 and 2025, selling here in my eyes is a huge mistake. And the only thing I'm doing for Bitcoin is buying. And if you love getting in, getting out, doing these little trades, that's all great if you're good at it. There's always that chance that you sell, wait for a large dip. That large dip doesn't come. It ends up only being a medium-sized dip or a small dip. You miss out and it goes on to create new yearly highs, potentially new all-time highs. But looking at Bitcoin now, it does look like it is ready to cool off a bit. Bitcoin is tightening up. We're creating this pattern. We're either going to break it to the downside or break it to the upside. And if we break it to the downside, I am anticipating seeing $40,000 for Bitcoin. And in the end, just based on where we are in the halving, I think it is a huge mistake to sell. And while yes, the chart looks like we may be topping here, we may be looking forward to a pullback here, rather than selling now and buying back in on a pullback, I'm just going to add and continue to scale in. I think that's the way for Bitcoin. But let me know what you guys think. We also have a lot of miners today that are selling off. We have some miners anywhere from 10% down, while some are, 2-3% down. These went on crazy runs, and they were due to at least consolidate. But as for Sphere 3D, I'm anticipating and watching for this ascending line to break. However, we may simply pull back a little bit more and start using our previous strong resistance as a support. I'm honestly hoping that Sphere 3D pulls back a little bit more on the last day of this year so that I can add a little bit. But in reality, this is a blip in the radar. It has moved massively, but it has moved even more in history. And I do think Sphere 3D will be much higher in price by the end of 2024, in 2025 as well. And while these previous moves seem huge, there is a lot more to come. Next up, I want to talk about Iris Energy. This one has just been blasting off. A lot of people sold looking for a dip buy and it just didn't really give it to them. A lot of people that wanted in missed the run here. Now, while Iris Energy does look like it's topping out here for the short term, we did just see a golden cross. The RSI is coming down from being overbought. But personally, I am anticipating a little bit of a retracement. On our last run for Iris, we gained 145%. However, it ended up taking it back and then some. Now, I don't expect that this time, but I do expect a little bit of a retracement. Having said that, the market might not care what I expect. The market might continue just buying this up. We do get on these crazy euphoric runs where price doesn't let off and it just continues running. So my point of this video is, anticipate these pullbacks, but they are only buying opportunities. I think selling the Bitcoin miners here is not the way to go. And, for those of you that are overextended, overweighted in your portfolio for crypto miners, might not be a bad time to trim some profits if you're really concerned with keeping your portfolio equally weighted, because they have definitely run up quite a bit. But in my eyes, overall, these Bitcoin miners will go much higher in price. And looking at these more long term, at least over the next 2 years, these are going to end up much higher in price than they are here. That's just my opinion, and we'll see how this plays out. Now, I do want to talk about bitfarms really quick. A lot of people like this one. And one thing that we may experience here is a pullback to fill the gap. This would bring us right around $4. And if you're looking for an entry point, this could be a good place to start. And you might be saying, this went way too far too fast. $4 is not a good entry point. This should come back towards $2, and maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Last time we ran like this, we did see pretty major retracements. But in the end, she continued breaking out, continued creating new all-time highs. And if back during the last cycle, you bought bitfarms, it ran up 500%, you decided, I'm out, I'm done, I'm not getting back in. You could have, instead of selling, just bought more on the dips, added more, built out your portfolio farther, scaled in, and experienced right around a 1600% run up. So while yes, maybe these Bitcoin miners fall down short term, I do see these as great buying opportunities. I also want to briefly mention Ethereum. It did attempt to break out of its resistance. It does look to me like we're double topping here. We may see a little pullback to here before we potentially bounce, or we break this trend and head down somewhere towards where the 50 MA will settle. I do think soon Ethereum will have a really good breakout of this resistance, but I do think when Bitcoin's having a good day, if Ethereum can break out of this resistance, we can see a sustained run. But I do really like Ethereum. I do think it's going to continue its slow and steady ascend to the upside. But let me know, guys, are you picking up some miners at these discounted prices, or are you waiting for a little bit of a further drop considering how much we ran recently? I do think these pullbacks are great buying opportunities. The charts are bullish, and I do believe they will continue to be bullish. And overall, we will continue to see these Bitcoin miners and cryptos accelerate higher in price. We're at a very exciting time in the halving cycle, and I do believe this is literally just the beginning. But let me know what you guys think about the spot Bitcoin ETFs. Are we going to see a sell the news event, or do we see Bitcoin break out of new yearly highs? Thanks as always for watching, guys. Also, let me know what miners you guys are picking up. I do think tomorrow could be a great buying opportunity as it's the last day of the year. Might be a quite volatile day. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.